Lily Adams loved watching the stars. On this summer night, she lay on her back outside the family tent while her parents slept. The camping trip to the mountains was her idea. At 12 years old, she already knew more about space than most adults, reading every book she could find on stars, planets, and the possibility of alien life. She noticed one star that moved oddly across the sky. It grew bigger and brighter. Lily sat up, her heart beating fast. This was not a shooting star or a plane. The light hovered above the clearing where they camped, casting an eerie blue glow over the trees. Lily should have been scared. She should have screamed for her parents. But curiosity won over fear. She stood up, her eyes locked on the light as it lowered toward the ground. The air around her felt electric. A beam shot down from the craft, and before Lily could run, she felt herself rising. Her feet left the ground as the beam pulled her upward. Her last view of Earth was of her small red tent growing smaller below her. Lily woke up in a clear box. She could see through all sides into a large room filled with similar boxes. Each one held a different creature. Some looked almost human. Others had extra limbs, odd skin colors, or no faces at all. The strange beings made awful sounds, crying, screaming, and pounding against their cages. Lily did not scream. She watched and listened. She had always been good at solving puzzles, and this was the biggest puzzle of her life. Tall beings with gray-blue skin and 4 arms walked between the boxes. They wore black uniforms with silver symbols on their chests. They spoke in a language Lily could not understand, but their tone was clear, bored, and routine. They had done this many times before. One of them stopped at Lily's box and made notes on a glowing pad. He spoke to another guard and pointed at her. The second guard looked surprised and came closer to the box. Lily stared back at him. Then, despite everything, she smiled. The guard stepped back quickly. He said something sharp to the first guard, who laughed and shook his head. "The small ones always break first," the first guard said, and suddenly Lily could understand him. Something had changed in her head. It felt like a buzz and then a click. "Not this species. Look at the readings," said the second guard. "Normal heart rate. No stress hormones. Strange. It doesn't matter. She's going to the junior arena. None of them last there anyway." Lily listened carefully, memorizing their words. Junior arena. She didn't know what that meant, but it didn't sound good. A third guard approached with a tray of small devices. He opened a panel in Lily's box and reached in with a tool. Lily didn't fight as he pressed a small metal disc against her neck. It stung, then felt cool. "Translator implanted. Moving to processing level 3, he said. As they moved her box onto a floating platform, Lily saw the ship for the first time through a large window. It was massive, stretching farther than she could see in both directions. Beyond it was darkness and stars. But not the stars she knew from Earth. They were in deep space. Other boxes were moved alongside hers. The creature nearest to her looked like a large insect with sad, intelligent eyes. It clicked and buzzed at her. "They will kill us." The translator in her neck converted its sounds. "The arena kills all." "What arena?" Lily asked quietly. "The Zarkonian death games. We are today's new fighters." Lily should have cried then. Any normal child would have. Instead, she felt something hard and determined form inside her. She had watched every survival show on TV. She knew martial arts, gymnastics, and rock climbing. She had won the state junior chess championship. If this was a game, she could learn the rules. She smiled at the insect creature. "I'm Lily, and I don't plan on dying." The alien's eyes widened in surprise as the platform carrying their boxes moved into a dark tunnel, taking them deeper into the massive ship. The ship landed with a gentle bump. Lily felt the change in gravity as the boxes were moved down a long ramp. Outside, a red sky stretched above them. 3 moons hung low on the horizon. They were on another planet. "Zarkan Prime," whispered the insect creature next to her. "The arena world." Guards moved between the boxes, opening them one by one. When they reached Lily, a tall Zarkonian with a scar across his face peered down at her. "Out, human child," he said in a flat voice. "Follow the yellow line." Lily stepped out of her box, feeling the strange gravity pull at her body. It was lighter than Earth. She could jump higher here, move faster. She filed this fact away as useful. The yellow line led to a large building with no windows. Inside, more aliens in white coats waited. They looked like doctors. One of them, a female with purple skin markings, pointed Lily to a metal table. "Sit," she ordered. "Processing begins." Lily sat quietly as the alien doctor scanned her body with a humming device. The doctor frowned at the results. "Another weak specimen," she said to her colleague. "Soft-bodied, poor muscle density, slow reflexes, undeveloped brain." Her colleague nodded. "Typical of the Earth humans, not worth much in the arena." Lily kept her face blank, but her mind raced. They thought humans were weak. They were underestimating her. This could be an advantage. The doctor pressed another device against Lily's arm. It stung, then left a glowing blue mark on her skin. "Tracking chip implanted. Specimen E7421. Classified as Juvenile Entertainment Division." The other doctor looked at Lily with what might have been pity. "Wasted trip. The juveniles never last more than one match." They led Lily to a small room with a bed, toilet, and sink. The door slid shut behind her with a soft hiss. On the wall, a screen flickered to life, showing images of strange creatures fighting in a massive arena. The battles were brutal. Many ended quickly, with one fighter dead on the sandy floor. Lily watched for hours, studying the arena, the fighters, the weapons. She noticed patterns. Fast creatures attacked head-on. Large ones relied on strength over skill. The winners were often those who used the arena itself as a weapon, hiding behind pillars, using high ground, or throwing sand to blind opponents. The door slid open. A new guard entered, taller than the others, with a captain's insignia on his uniform. "I am Draz, master of the arena," he said. "You fight tomorrow." Lily stood up straight. "Who do I fight?" Draz seemed surprised by her calm question. Most new fighters begged for mercy or cried. He studied her with narrowed eyes. "A Vex hunter. Quick, venomous, and hungry." His mouth curved into what might have been a smile. "It will be over quickly, human child." "My name is Lily," she said. "Names don't matter in the arena. Only survival." Draz turned to leave, then paused. "Though none of your kind have ever survived the juvenile division." "I'll be the first," Lily said. Draz laughed, a harsh sound like breaking glass. "Brave words. I've heard them before." He spoke to his lieutenant at the door. "Put her against something quick. Let's not drag this out." After they left, food appeared through a slot in the wall. Lily ate slowly, conserving her strength. On the screen, more fights played. She watched each one carefully, looking for weaknesses in the Zarkonian system. In the cell next to hers, someone was crying. Through a small vent, she could hear the sobs. "Hello," she called softly. The crying stopped. "Hello," came a quiet voice. "Are you fighting tomorrow too?" "Yes," said Lily. "But I plan to win." A bitter laugh answered her. "Nobody wins against the Zarkonians. We all die for their entertainment." "Not me," Lily said firmly. "And not you either, if you help me." "Help you how?" Lily smiled in the darkness of her cell. "I'm going to learn everything about this place. And then I'm going to break it." Morning came with a harsh buzzing sound. Lily's door slid open, and a guard pointed to the hallway. "Training time," he said. "All fighters get 6 hours to prepare. Arena rules." Lily followed him down a long corridor lined with other cells. Some held creatures that watched her with sad eyes. Others contained only darkness. At the end of the hall was a large room filled with weapons and training equipment. "Pick what you want," said the guard. "Not that it matters for you." Other young aliens huddled in corners of the room, too scared to touch the weapons. They came in all shapes and sizes. Some had scales, others fur, and one was made of something like blue glass. All of them looked afraid. Lily walked slowly around the room, testing different weapons. A sword was too heavy, a laser gun too complicated, a set of throwing stars too hard to aim. Then she saw a simple metal staff leaning against the wall. It felt right in her hands, balanced and strong. She carried it to an open space and began to move. Back on Earth, Lily had taken gymnastics since she was 5. She had also studied martial arts. She spun the staff in a series of moves, testing its weight and reach. The guard watched her with surprise. "You've used weapons before?" "Just a broom handle," Lily said, not stopping her practice. "For pretend." The guard laughed and walked away, but not before Lily saw confusion in his eyes. She was not acting like the other children. She was not giving up. For 2 hours, Lily practiced with the staff. She learned how it moved in this lighter gravity. She could jump higher here, spin faster. She worked until sweat dripped down her face. "Your form is wrong," said a deep voice behind her. Lily turned to see a massive alien watching her. He was twice her height with rough, rock-like skin and 4 arms. Deep scars crossed his body. A champion's mark glowed on his chest. "I'm Krell," he said, 9 years in the arena. Still alive. Lily didn't back away. "I'm Lily. First day. Planning to stay alive too." Something like respect flickered in Krell's 6 eyes. "No one survives the junior division." "I will," Lily said. Krell studied her for a long moment. Then he stepped forward and took the staff from her hands. "Watch," he said. He moved the staff in a complex pattern, his 4 arms working together. "Like this. Balance is key." Lily watched carefully, then took back the staff and copied his moves. Not perfectly, but well enough. "Again," Krell said. "Faster." They trained for another hour. Krell showed her how to use the staff to block, strike, and vault into the air. He was a strict teacher, never praising, only correcting. "Why are you helping me?" Lily asked during a short break. Krell was silent for a moment. "My child was taken for the arena too. From our home world. She didn't survive her first match." Lily nodded, understanding in her eyes. "I'm sorry." "The Vex Hunter you face tomorrow hunts by movement and heat," Krell said, changing the subject. "It attacks what moves fastest. Remember that." A bell rang, signaling the end of training time. Guards appeared to take the fighters back to their cells. "One more thing," Krell said quietly as they were separated. "The arena has blind spots, places the viewers can't see well. The corners, behind the pillars, and under the red sand mounds. The guards don't care what happens in the blind spots." Lily memorized this information as she was led back to her cell. There, a new meal waited, better than the last one. Energy food for fighters. On the screen, an announcer was talking about tomorrow's matches. Lily's name appeared with a picture of her face. Next to it was an image of the Vex Hunter, a nightmare creature with razor-sharp claws and too many teeth. "Odds of survival. 0, said the announcer with a laugh. Another quick match for the junior division. Lily sat on her bed, staff across her knees. She closed her eyes and pictured the arena. She imagined the Vex Hunter charging at her. She planned her moves, remembering Krell's advice about balance and the blind spots. In the darkness of her mind, she saw herself surviving. Not just surviving, but winning. Lily woke to the sound of her cell door opening. 2 guards stood waiting. "Arena time. Human," one said. "Your last day alive." Lily took a deep breath and stood up. She wore the simple gray clothes they had given her, with her hair pulled back in a tight braid. She picked up her staff and nodded. She was ready. The guards led her through underground tunnels. The walls shook with the sound of thousands of feet stomping above. The crowd was excited. "They're betting on how long you'll last," said a guard with a smirk. The record is 28 seconds for a junior human. Lily said nothing. She focused on keeping her breathing steady. Fear was normal, but panic was deadly. She would not panic. They reached a metal gate. Beyond it was a bright light and the roar of the crowd. "The smiling Earthling enters the arena," boomed a voice over speakers. "Will she still be smiling when the Vex Hunter finds her?" The crowd laughed and cheered. The gate slid open. Lily stepped into blinding sunlight. The arena was larger than she expected. A circular space the size of a football field. Red sand covered the ground. Stone pillars rose in various places. In the center was a shallow pit filled with blue liquid. Around the edges, high walls separated the fighters from the audience. Thousands of alien faces looked down at her. On a large screen, numbers flashed. The odds were 100 to 1 against her survival. Captain Draz sat in a special box high above. He leaned forward, watching her with interest. A second gate opened across the arena. The Vex Hunter emerged, a nightmare of teeth and claws. It looked like a mix between a wolf and a giant insect. Its 6 legs ended in hooked claws, and its mouth held rows of needle-sharp teeth. It moved with terrifying speed. The crowd went wild, screaming for blood. The Vex Hunter heard them and raised its head, letting out a bone-chilling howl. Lily did not run. She stood perfectly still, remembering Krell's words. "It attacks what moves fastest." The Vex Hunter sniffed the air, sensing her. It began to creep forward, head low, claws digging into the red sand. Lily waited, her grip tight on the staff. The creature moved closer, 30 feet away, 20, 10. When it leaped, Lily was ready. She used the staff to vault upward, using the lighter gravity to soar higher than would have been possible on Earth. The Vex Hunter sailed beneath her, missing by inches. The crowd gasped. Lily landed on top of one of the stone pillars. The Vex Hunter circled below, confused by her disappearance. It sniffed the air again, then spotted her above. It rushed at the pillar, trying to climb. Its claws scraped against the stone. Lily watched calmly, waiting for her moment. When the creature was halfway up, she jumped to the next pillar. The Vex Hunter snarled in frustration and followed. Each time it got close, Lily jumped to a new position. "Amazing!" The announcer shouted. "The human child has survived 1 minute. 2 minutes." The crowd's mood began to shift. Some cheered for the clever human. Others booed, wanting blood. The Vex Hunter grew more angry with each failed attack. Its movements became less careful, more wild. It was tiring. Lily led it to the center of the arena, near the pit of blue liquid. She jumped across, landing on the other side. The Vex Hunter leaped after her, but misjudged the distance. It landed in the blue liquid with a splash and a horrible shriek. The blue was not water. It was acid. The creature thrashed and screamed as the liquid burned its legs. It dragged itself out, wounded but still dangerous. Now it was truly furious. Lily stood ready. When the Vex Hunter charged, she didn't jump away this time. She waited until the last second, then dropped flat on the ground. The creature, unable to stop its momentum, stumbled over her. As it passed above her, Lily thrust her staff upward into the soft underside of the Vex Hunter's throat, its only vulnerable spot, as she had observed from the arena footage. The creature fell with a terrible cry, then lay still. Silence fell over the arena. No child had ever survived the junior division, let alone defeated a Vex Hunter. Lily stood up and brushed the red sand from her clothes. She looked up at Captain Draz's box and did something that shocked the entire arena. She smiled, a wide, confident grin that was broadcast on every screen. The crowd went wild. Guards escorted Lily back to her cell, but something had changed. They kept their distance and didn't mock her anymore. Word of her victory spread through the prison complex like wildfire. In her cell, a new outfit waited on her bed. Black with blue trim, nicer than the gray clothes from before. A small note read, Winners dress better. Next to it lay a tray with better food than she'd received before. Lily showered, changed, and ate slowly. Her muscles ached from the fight, but she felt strong. The screen on her wall now showed replays of her match. The announcers sounded shocked. Unprecedented survival skills from the human child, one said. Captain Draz has renamed her the Smiling Earthling after that final grin. A clever trick with the acid pit, said another. But luck won't save her next time. Lily studied the footage of herself, looking for mistakes to fix. She noticed how she had hesitated before the final strike. That could have cost her life. Her door slid open. Captain Draz himself stood there, flanked by 2 guards. His expression was hard to read. "You surprised us, human," he said. "No child has ever survived the junior division before." "I told you I would," Lily replied calmly. Draz's eyes narrowed. "You got lucky." The Vex hunter was young, not fully grown. Lily said nothing. Let him think it was luck. "You've become popular overnight," Draz continued. "Viewership doubled after your match. The betting markets are going crazy." He leaned closer. "Do you know what that means?" "More money for you," Lily said. Draz laughed, a harsh sound. "Smart little thing." "Yes, more money. Which means you fight again. Soon." "What's next?" Lily asked. "A razor beast, twice the size of the Vex hunter. Faster, smarter." Draz showed his sharp teeth in what might have been a smile. "Still feeling lucky?" "I don't need luck," Lily said. Something flickered in Draz's eyes. Surprise, maybe even respect. He turned to leave but paused at the door. "The prison system has privileges for winners," he said. "You've earned access to the common areas, training rooms, meal hall, recreation spaces." His voice hardened. "Don't cause trouble." After he left, Lily sat on her bed thinking. Access to common areas meant access to other fighters, more information, possible allies. When her door opened again, it wasn't locked. She stepped into the corridor cautiously. Other doors stood open too. Aliens of various species moved about, some nodding to her in recognition. Lily found her way to a large hall where fighters ate together. Conversation hushed when she entered. All eyes turned to her. She was the smallest one there, the only human, and now famous. She got her food and looked for a place to sit. Most tables were full of fighters who turned away when she approached. Then she saw Krell sitting alone in a corner. He didn't look up when she sat across from him. "You used the blind spots," he said quietly. "Good. Thank you for your help," Lily said. Krell grunted. "It won't be enough next time. The Razor Beast is no joke. Will you help me train again?" Krell finally looked at her. "Why bother? No one escapes this place. We all die eventually." "I don't believe that," Lily said firmly. "There's always a way out." "There isn't." "There is," came a new voice. A small green alien with 4 eyes slid onto the bench beside them. "I'm Nix. I work in systems maintenance." "You're not a fighter," Krell growled. "No," Nix agreed. "I'm a prisoner too, but I fix things when they break. The arena, the cells, the security systems." He looked at Lily. "I saw your match. The way you smiled at the end. You're not just trying to survive, are you?" Lily studied him carefully. "No, I'm not." Nix leaned closer, voice dropping to a whisper. "I've been mapping the facility for years. Security routes, weak points, access codes." His 4 eyes blinked nervously. "But I needed someone special to help. Someone who could unite the other fighters. Someone the guards underestimate." Lily felt her heart beat faster. This was exactly what she needed. "I'm listening," she said. "Not here," Nix whispered. "Too many eyes. Meet me in Maintenance Shaft P during evening training. We can talk freely there." As Nix hurried away, Krell snorted. "He's going to get you killed. Or he's going to help me get us all out of here," Lily replied. For the first time, Something like hope flickered in Krell's 6 eyes. Finding maintenance shaft B wasn't easy. Lily slipped away during evening training, telling the guards she needed to use the restroom. The maintenance tunnels were hidden behind unmarked panels in the walls. It took her 3 tries to find the right one. The tunnel was narrow and dimly lit with blue lights. Pipes ran along the ceiling, carrying unknown liquids and gases. Lily crawled forward carefully until the tunnel opened into a small room filled with blinking equipment. Nix waited there, his green skin glowing faintly in the darkness. He jumped when Lily appeared. "You came," he whispered. "Good. We don't have much time." "Tell me about these escape plans," Lily said. Nix moved to a panel on the wall and pressed a series of buttons. A holographic map appeared in the air between them. "This is Zarkan Prime," he explained. "We're here." He pointed to a small dot in a massive complex. "The arena is here. Landing bays here. Security center here." Lily studied the map carefully, memorizing key locations. "I've been working on the security systems for years," Nix continued. "There's a flaw in the arena force fields. When the power surges during the championship matches, the backup systems take exactly 12 seconds to activate. During those 12 seconds, the containment fields are vulnerable." "So we could escape during a championship match?" Lily asked. "Theoretically, but it would take precise timing, access to the main control panel, and someone drawing attention in the arena." Nix's 4 eyes blinked rapidly. "Plus, we would need a ship. Is there a way to cause a bigger power surge? Make the backup systems take longer?" Nix looked impressed. "Yes, actually. If someone accessed the main power couplings during a match and overloaded them." Their planning was interrupted by a soft beep from Nix's wrist device. "Guards coming. You need to go," he hissed. Lily turned to leave but paused. "Why are you helping me?" "Because you smiled," Nix said simply. "No one smiles here unless they have hope. I haven't had hope in years." Lily made it back to the training area just before the guards came looking for her. She spent the rest of the evening practicing with her staff, but her mind was on the map and the plan forming in her thoughts. The next morning, a crowd of fighters gathered around the viewing screens in the common area. A special announcement was playing. "Due to unprecedented audience demand," said the announcer, "we present a special event. The smiling Earthling will face not one, but 2 razor beasts in tomorrow's match." Gasps and murmurs filled the room. Fighters looked at Lily with pity. No one survived against 2 razor beasts. Krell found her later in the training room. "They're trying to kill you faster," he growled. "Your popularity scares them." "Who is them?" Lily asked. "Admiral Vex. He runs the entire arena system. Captain Draz answers to him." Krell's voice dropped lower. "Vex doesn't like surprises. You're a surprise." Lily twirled her staff, thinking, "So if Admiral Vex wants me dead quickly, it means you're important somehow." Krell picked up a heavy training sword. "Come. We need to work on your defense against multiple attackers." They trained hard for hours. Lily's arms ached, but she didn't stop. Krell was a harsh teacher, knocking her down again and again until she learned to watch for attacks from multiple directions. During a water break, Lily noticed other young fighters watching her from the doorway. The children from the junior division who had been too scared to train before. Now they observed her with something like hope in their eyes. "They're watching you," Krell said quietly. "Good," Lily replied. "I need them to." "For what?" "For what comes next." Lily set down her water and picked up her staff again. "I need to speak with them. All of them. Tonight." Krell shook his massive head. "You're planning something foolish." "I'm planning something necessary," Lily corrected him. "Will you help me gather them?" The big alien stared at her for a long moment. "You remind me of my daughter," he finally said. "Stubborn. Brave." He sighed deeply. "Yes, I will help." That night, in the shadows of the sleeping quarters, Lily met with 12 young fighters from different species. She told them her plan. Some looked afraid. Others looked excited. All of them listened. For the first time since she arrived on Zarkan Prime, Lily saw something spread through the prison that the Zarkonians had tried to eliminate completely: hope. The arena looked different today. Larger screens lined the walls. More seats had been added for the crowd. Important-looking aliens in fancy clothes sat in special boxes. Lily's match had become a major event. She stood in the entrance tunnel, waiting for her name to be called. Her hands were steady on her staff. She had trained as much as possible, but facing 2 razor beasts seemed impossible. Krell had come to see her before the match. "Remember what we practiced," he said. "Never let them surround you. Keep moving. Use the terrain." Now, as she waited, Lily thought about the plan she had shared with the young fighters last night. Everything depended on her survival today. The announcer's voice boomed over the speakers. "Welcome to today's special event. The human child who defied the odds. The smiling earthling faces her greatest challenge." The gates opened. Lily walked into the arena. The crowd roared, some cheering for her, others booing. Lily noticed many were recording the match with small devices. Her fame had grown. The arena had been redesigned for today's match. Large rock formations created a maze-like pattern. The acid pit in the center was larger. New platforms hung at different heights. In the VIP box, Lily spotted Captain Draz sitting beside a tall, thin alien with cold eyes and gold markings on his face. That must be Admiral Vex. Today's challenge, the announcer continued. 2 razor beasts against 1 human child. Will she smile after this? 2 gates on opposite sides of the arena slid open. The razor beasts emerged, massive creatures with bodies like lions, but covered in metal-like scales. Their heads were flat and wide with rows of teeth like saw blades. They moved with surprising speed for their size, muscles rippling under their armored skin. The beasts spotted Lily at the same time. They began circling, trying to trap her between them. Lily didn't wait. She ran toward the nearest rock formation and climbed quickly to the top. From this high point, she could see the entire arena. The first razor beast leaped at the rock, its claws scraping against the surface as it tried to climb. The second beast circled, looking for another way up. Lily waited until the first beast was halfway up, then jumped to another rock formation. The beast snarled in frustration and jumped down to follow. For several minutes, Lily led the beasts through the rock maze, keeping them separated. The crowd watched with growing excitement as she stayed just out of reach. But Lily was tiring. She couldn't keep running forever. She needed to defeat them, not just avoid them. She remembered something Krell had told her. Razor beasts are territorial. They fight each other over hunting grounds. An idea formed in Lily's mind. She changed direction, heading toward the acid pit in the center. When she reached it, she paused just long enough for both beasts to see her. Then she ran to a spot where the 2 beasts would approach from opposite directions. She stood there, staff ready, waiting. The beasts charged at full speed, each focused on Lily, neither paying attention to the other. At the last possible second, Lily dropped flat on the ground. The razor beasts collided with a terrible crash. Metal scales scraped against metal scales. Roars of pain and rage filled the arena. Instead of fighting Lily, they began fighting each other. The crowd went wild, cheering and screaming as the beasts tore at each other. This was better entertainment than they had expected. While the beasts fought, Lily crept away, moving to a specific spot in the arena, a corner where a small control panel was hidden inside a rock. Nix had told her about it during their meeting. With the crowd distracted by the fighting beasts, Lily pried open the panel. Inside were colored wires and blinking lights. Following Nix's instructions, she crossed 2 wires and pressed a sequence of buttons. Nothing seemed to happen, but Lily knew the damage was done. The power systems would begin to overload during the championship match tomorrow. The timing had to be perfect. A roar pulled her attention back to the fight. One razor beast lay dead. The other, badly wounded, turned its eyes toward Lily. Blood dripped from its teeth as it limped toward her. Lily gripped her staff. The beast was injured but still deadly. She couldn't outrun it forever. She backed toward the acid pit, keeping her eyes on the approaching beast. When it charged, she sidestepped and used her staff to trip its injured leg. The beast stumbled, lost its balance, and fell halfway into the acid pit. Its screams echoed through the arena as it thrashed, trying to pull itself out. Lily looked away. She didn't want to watch it suffer. Instead, she turned toward Admiral Vex's box and did what everyone now expected. She smiled, not a happy smile, but a determined one, a promise. The crowd exploded with cheers. The smiling Earthling. The smiling Earthling. Admiral Vex did not cheer. He stared at Lily with cold, calculating eyes. Lily sat in her cell, no longer a prisoner but a champion. Her room had been upgraded again. Larger bed, better food, even a window looking out over the strange red landscape of Zarkan Prime. But she was still a captive. Captain Draz visited her that evening. His manner was different now, less mocking, more respectful. "Admiral Vex wants to see you," he said. "A great honor." Lily nodded calmly, though her heart beat faster. This was unexpected, but could be useful. Guards led her to a grand room atop the highest tower of the arena complex. Admiral Vex stood by a window, looking out at the 3 moons rising over the horizon. He didn't turn when she entered. "Remarkable," he said, his voice cold and precise. 7 matches, 7 victories. No human has ever survived 2. "I'm different," Lily said simply. Vex turned to face her. His eyes were pale, almost white. "Yes, you are." He studied her. 2 different. 2. Prepared. Lily kept her face blank. Did he suspect? "Tomorrow is the championship match," Vex continued. "You will face the Destroyer, our greatest champion. 50 alien species are sending representatives to watch. Villians will view the broadcast." His thin lips curved in a smile. "They come to see you die, smiling Earthling." "They'll be disappointed," Lily said. Vex moved closer. "No, they won't, because you will die tomorrow. The Destroyer is not like the beasts you've tricked. He is intelligent, experienced, augmented with the finest Zarkonian technology." He pressed a button on his desk. A hologram appeared, a massive warrior with armored skin and glowing red eyes. Half his body was machine, with weapons built into his arms. "Impressive," Lily said, hiding her fear. "Your confidence is amusing," Vex said, "but I know there's more happening here. My security teams found tampering in the arena systems, strange meetings in the lower levels." His eyes narrowed. "What are you planning, human child?" "To survive," Lily said. "That's all." Vex stared at her, then waved his hand dismissively. "Take her back. Double the guards on her cell." As the guards led her away, Lily realized time was running out. The plan needed to move forward tonight. Back in her cell, she found a small metal disc hidden under her food tray. A message from Nyx. "Systems ready. Midnight. Be prepared." Lily lay on her bed, pretending to sleep while counting the minutes. Guards checked on her regularly, their shadows passing across her doorway. At midnight, the lights flickered briefly. The security cameras went dark. Her door slid open silently. Nyx waited in the hallway, nervous but determined. "Quickly," he whispered. "We have 3 minutes before systems reset." They moved through darkened corridors, avoiding guard patrols. Other doors opened as they passed, the other young fighters joining them as planned. Krell waited at a junction, his massive form blocking unwanted visitors. "This way," he rumbled, leading them to a maintenance shaft. They crawled through narrow tunnels until they reached the arena control room. It was empty. The night shift guards had been lured away by a false alarm in another section. Nix moved quickly to the main console. The championship preparations are perfect cover, he explained as he worked. All power will be routed to the arena tomorrow. When the main systems overload, the entire facility will lose power for at least 30 seconds. Enough time to reach the landing bays? Lily asked. If we're fast and lucky, Nix said. A guard shouted in the distance. Their absence had been discovered. We need to hide until tomorrow, Krell said urgently. No, Lily decided. They'll lock down the whole facility. We need to move now. She turned to the gathered young fighters, 12 children from different worlds, all looking to her for leadership. New plan, she announced. We take a ship tonight. They moved quickly through maintenance tunnels, following Nix's directions. Alarm sirens wailed through the facility. Guards rushed through corridors, searching for them. The landing bay was ahead, a massive hangar filled with ships. Only 2 guards stood at the entrance, unprepared for the group that suddenly appeared before them. Krell moved with surprising speed, knocking both guards unconscious before they could raise their weapons. Which ship? Lily asked Nix. That one. He pointed to a sleek transport near the bay doors, fast and simple to fly. They ran across the open hangar floor. Behind them, doors slid open as more guards arrived. Energy weapons fired, scorching the floor around them. Nix reached the ship first, his fingers flying over the access panel. The door opened with a hiss. Everyone in, Lily shouted. As the children scrambled aboard, Lily turned to face the approaching guards. She spotted Captain Draz among them, his face twisted with rage. Lily smiled at him, that same determined grin that had become her trademark. Then she backed into the ship as the door closed. Nix was already at the controls, starting engines, bypassing security. Hold on, he called. The ship lurched, then rose from the floor. Guards fired desperately at it, but the transport's shields held. Through the viewports, Lily saw Admiral Vex arrive in the hangar, his pale eyes finding her in the ship. She met his gaze steadily as the ship turned toward the bay doors. We need exit codes, Nix cried, hands hovering over the controls. I have them, said Krell, stepping forward. I've been planning my escape for 9 years. He entered a long sequence into the console. The bay doors began to open. Stars appeared in the gap, real stars, the path to freedom. The ship shot forward, breaking free of Zarkan Prime and rising into space. Behind them, the arena world grew smaller, just another point of light among many. On the bridge, surrounded by the children she had saved, Lily finally allowed herself a genuine smile, not the challenging grin of the arena, but the joyful smile of a girl going home. Set course for Earth, she said, and prepare a message to send ahead. The universe needs to know about the Zarkonians. The stars stretched into lines as the ship jumped to light speed, carrying its cargo of freed children across the galaxy. They had survived the impossible. They had escaped, and they were taking their stories with them. Admiral Vex would soon discover that the most dangerous thing in his arena had never been the beasts or the weapons. It had been hope, hope carried in the smile of a human girl who refused to accept defeat.